Hey MzeroA Nation, Jason here. Welcome into day 30, an important lesson in the 31-Day Safer Pilot Challenge. If you've pre-ordered the book Aviation Mastery, I hope you do, all the proceeds from that going right to the MzeroA Foundation to spark and start the next generation of aviators. Just a mission near and dear to my heart, and this topic near and dear to my heart, and you'll find it throughout the pages of Aviation Mastery, the book, when your book does arrive from pre-order. Challenge yourself in aviation, but not too much. Allow me to explain. We all love a good challenge. We should all be growing. We have a human need to continue to grow, right? We have many human needs, but one of them is we all desire growth. In fact, what doesn't grow dies. I mean, it's just the honest truth. It's something I've based my life on, my family. We base our life on this from our littlest children all the way on up, believing in this, what doesn't grow dies. And that's true of our aviation. It's true of our relationships. It's true of our finance, all these things, right? Let's relate that now to aviation and to our flight training. I want you to challenge yourself in aviation. And right now you're saying, well, Jason, I don't have the finances. I don't have the time to challenge myself more in aviation. And I'm going to take that excuse away from you because I'm going to share with you ways that you can be challenging yourself in aviation. In fact, the fact that we're on day 30 of the Safer Pilot Challenge, very purposeful word, used that. It's not clever marketing. It's very purposeful in the psychology of this process here. The fact that you're on day 30, in fact, go back and look at the playlist of all these videos together. I would guarantee videos 1, 2, 3, those days probably have some of the most views. You get down to here, these videos probably have the least amount of views. It's basic human psychology. How many books are on your shelf that you never opened, read the first few pages, chapters of maybe, and then just put away and life happened? The fact that you're here, this didn't cost you any money, it cost you some time, and I hope you would argue it's time well spent. This is a way to challenge yourself. You see, but as you're challenging yourself in the cockpit with new ratings, I want to earn my instrument. I want to become a seaplane pilot. I want to earn my tailwheel endorsement. I want to earn my high altitude, my complex endorsement. I want to dive into a technically advanced aircraft like a G1000 or something like 2-3 Mike Zulu. As you find these new goals and ways to challenge yourself, yes, we need all that. What doesn't grow dies. But we can't challenge ourselves too much. You see, learning takes place just barely outside of one's comfort zone. Have you ever been on a flight lesson where you are taken outside of your comfort zone into something psychologists literally call the fear zone? Learning does not take place in the fear zone. We have our comfort zone. And oddly enough, learning doesn't take place in our comfort zone. Reinforcement does. Repetition does. Our brain is nothing more than myelin, and myelin fires these little synapses in between different thoughts. Our mind is like a forest, and 91205 is over here, and your brain is trying to fire a trail through to 91205 for you to retrieve that information from your short or long-term memory. And the more you fire that, the more repetition, the more you blaze a trail, the easier it is, and the more you reinforce it, and the thicker you build that myelin, the bigger you make the trail through the forest to find 91205. I know like I'm totally geeking out now and I apologize, but I have a passion for the science of learning. So in the comfort zone, we can build that repetition, 91205, 8's made of flames, laps around the pattern, everything else. But learning actually takes place in between the comfort zone and the fear zone. There's a tiny little area and it's expansion. And that's where learning takes place. You want to challenge yourself in aviation, but not too much. You want to work your way into your power on stalls. You want to work your way into power off 180s. You want to work your way into, I remember, I'll give you an example. I learned to fly helicopters recently. And a maneuver that really, really scared me because oddly enough, I have a fear of heights. Anybody else? Let me know in the comments. Anybody else have a fear of heights? Weird thing for a pilot. Like cruise ships, balconies, that sort of stuff. Like I don't need it. I don't need to see over the edge. I can see the view from a distance. I'm good with it. Pay someone to put the Christmas lights up, that kind of stuff. Like serious fear of heights. So in Florida, we fly the helicopter often with the doors off. And there's a maneuver called settling with power. We have to really climb up to altitude. And it's effectively how you stall a helicopter, more or less. And you do just that. You settle with power into your own rotor downwash. And with the doors open at 2,500 feet, heading straight down, and you're looking, it's different when we're moving forward. It's not as scary, but coming down like that, I entered into the fear zone. My fear of heights took over, and it took me a while to learn settling with power because my mind was in the fear zone, not learning, not feeling the controls. And anyone who's flown a helicopter knows it's all about feeling, right? You need 3 hands to fly a helicopter. Learning takes place just outside of our comfort zone, but before that fear zone. If you ever find yourself fearful in an airplane, you're actually doing yourself a disservice because you have stopped learning. You can also push yourself into the exhaustion zone as well. Anybody ever try to do like 15 touch and goes in a lesson and you get to like landing number 7 and you're just like, I am so mentally tired and exhausted. You're not scared, you're just mentally tired. You've stopped learning and you're spending money because that propeller is spinning, but you're logging time, but you're not logging any experience up here. Learning happens in that healthy state just outside of our comfort zone. When you're new to this, everything will be just outside your comfort zone. Everything is learn, 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 learn. And when you hit these learning plateaus, this is where you have to push yourself just outside your comfort zone. It can be as effective as a tailwheel endorsement. It can be as audacious as an instrument rating. And I want everyone to earn their instrument rating one day. It can be as simple as a seaplane rating, which could be done in 2 days. It could be as simple as going from an Archer to a Cherokee 6. From an Archer to a Dakota, from a 172 to a 182. It could be that simple. Just a new aircraft, a new environment, from a high wing to a low wing, and a low wing to a high wing. Expand your horizons, challenge yourself in aviation, but just a little bit, just barely outside your comfort zone. That's how growth works. You don't go to the gym one day, work out like crazy and say, I'm good for the year. You go to the gym consistently every other day or 5 days a week. You do little 30-minute workouts and slowly you build the muscle over time. You can't do everything all at once and expect to retain that muscle for the entire year. Your mind and the science of learning works exactly the same way. So as we're getting ready, one more video after this in the Safer Pilot Challenge, as we're getting to wrap this up, what's next for you? That is my question. What's next? Maybe it's just getting in the ground school. Maybe it's getting a written test monkey off your back. Maybe it is that solo. Maybe it's, Jason, I'm committed to getting the finances in order and the time in order for my instrument rating. What is your commitment for 2021? How are you going to challenge yourself? Let me know in the comment box below this on Facebook, on YouTube, on MzeroA.com, and just know that myself and this amazing MzeroA.com team here will be your accountability partners through all of this. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learning every day long. I'll see you.